Streaming is on.
Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I will be your host this evening. And I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. Now, if you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream. But you must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to attend the after party. Now, here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. And to join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, there'll be a link underneath At the Bench, which will have today's date. And I haven't posted that yet. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/S as in sunset, M as in Mary, and F as in Frank. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Okay, now if you're inclined to not come in and just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your comments or state your questions in the chat box on the YouTube side, and I'll do my best to make your comments a part of the show. Understand that sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so please be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. Now, if you find Stunthangar Video Hangouts or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform enjoyable and informative, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please share the videos. Please comment. All that helps the channel grow. And please consider joining our YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar, and with your memberships, you'll get special badges and emojis that I'll see on the YouTube chat box and unlimited replay of member-only videos, and once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. You can also use the Super Chat, which is located on the bottom of our chat box, to make donations. Now, regarding the Super Chat, that is only available during the live broadcast. So again, as I stated earlier, I do this every Monday and Friday evening at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you make a note of that and come back during that live broadcast. You don't have to watch the whole show to make a donation. Just come on in and make a donation to the Super Chat, and that'll be great. And I want to thank you for your past, your future, and present support. You are making it happen. And while we're on this show, please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use or say words or do things you wouldn't do around your children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and post the link at stunthangar.com, and I'm posting it right now. Okay, that's posted. And so I'm anticipating getting some new guests. I spoke to a gentleman a couple of days ago, and we talked about his difficulty getting into the chat box. And so, by the way, if you are watching this program and you don't have a YouTube channel membership, that's going to prevent you from, doing the probably even the Super Chat as well. But you definitely won't be able to chat. So you have to have a YouTube membership in order to comment and chat. So please do that so that you can actually contribute to the show. And let me see what's going on here now. Now we have 11 concurrent viewers, 5 likes. Thank you so much. That really does help, and I really, really appreciate that. That is awesome to be off at such a good start. And it's known in the chat right now as I'm looking, and I'm by myself here in the in this space. So until someone shows up, let me just kind of tell you what's been going on with me. Well, I've been reading this book. I don't think I have it here handy, but it's called Model Airplanes Aerodynamics, and I'm really enjoying this book. It's a very scientific book. It's not like a fiction or something like that or a novel. It's something. It's just like physics, and I really like it. I'm only about 3/4 of the way through the book, but it's really enjoyable. I can't read it all day. I got so many other things going on, but whenever I get a chance, I read it, and it's really interesting. I'm really beginning to understand how these things work. You know, I enjoy flying them, but before reading this book, I really couldn't explain to you how actual airplanes fly and what causes them to fly. And the section I've been reading has been on stability, and that's very interesting. It's kind of a trim function, and so I'm always tinkering with my airplane. Matter of fact, I can't wait to get back out. Hopefully, for sure, this Friday. Here comes Tryon. Here we go, and here comes Mike. So let me allow you guys to get in. Hey, Tryon.
Hey, Charles.
And Mike, how are you guys doing?
Good, good.
Awesome. Fantastic.
I am here.
You are there. I see. Are you polishing your molds?
Yes.
Okay. I saw your hands moving. I couldn't see the mold buck or whatever you call it. There we go. Oh, wow. Hey, that's getting pretty shiny. Wow. Amazing. Very neat. That is awesome. Hey, John, how are you doing, John?
Yeah, thanks.
I'm doing good. Look good, Tread.
Oh, thanks.
Let me let Leonard Burnell in. And Gary Sinclair says, I got a message Firefox detected a security risk on Stunthangar. Interesting. You know, when I first went to Stunthangar, before I came in, I couldn't get in there. I had a 404 error. I rebooted my computer, Gary, and
I had the same thing.
And I was able to get into Stunthangar. So try rebooting your computer. That's what worked for me, and also worked for who was that?
I had that message come up 4 or 5 times. It was telling me the site wasn't secure and hackers were trying to get my info. And I tried my iPhone and I could not connect to Stunthangar. And then I just kept trying, and then I got in.
All right.
But I had like 4 different messages come up telling me the site's not secure. Don't go there.
Wow.
Wow. Well, you know, that gives me cover. I think I was a minute or 2 late getting in, so that gives me some cover. I have an excuse.
Sparky posted that he's redoing the server to get and set up more speed, and said we might have lost a week's data, but he's working things out, and it's been a real headache and all that. But so it might have something to do with that as well. Some changes in the server.
Maybe. You know how Sparky, if you watch him, he talks about spinning plates, how he's always, spinning plates. That's just what he does. He's spinning plates, getting the server going, building his plane, taking
I don't know how
care
he does it all.
Yeah, and then he works, and then he still works, so it's I have a comment from Mark Lumen. He says, same for me now. And Al Fierro says, I had the same problem. Well, you guys just like Mike was very persistent. I got in on the second time. So just try and then try again. And hey, Len, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. I just came straight in. I didn't have any trouble tonight.
I didn't have any trouble either, but I've got mine pinned up to the top, so I'm pretty well always there.
You got your what? I didn't quite understand.
I've got Stunthangar pinned at the top.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, so do I, John. That's how I always come in. But every time I clicked on that pinned link, it was telling me, no, don't go there. Don't go there.
Really?
Turn on your enhanced security. And I did all that. And then it still, Chrome was telling me not to go there. And Brendan Eberns just texted me. He says Chrome settings are blocking him from Stunt Hangar right now.
Huh.
So
And I'm on
See, I did-
Firefox.
Yeah, so
I'm
am
on
I.
Fire- And I've got
Yeah.
the VPN going, and
Yeah, see, John, you and I had no trouble on Firefox.
right.
Well, I came in on Chrome myself.
Okay, so see, Chrome is doing something, or Firefox isn't. I don't know which one.
I came in Chrome and it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys out there in the you can't get in, just keep trying, and you will hopefully get back in here or get in here. So, it actually rained here in Southern California, so I didn't go flying this morning.
Well, that sucks.
I hope to get back out there at least no later than Friday.
We got out today.
Oh, really? What did you fly?
I flew the new Spitfire.
What did you think?
It was awesome. Needs
Right
a little
off the
bit of
bench.
trim. Right off the bench. Needs a little bit of trimming, but not much. It's pretty close. So I'm pretty happy.
Wow. Now, refresh my memory. The Spitfire has what power system do you have?
Brodak 40. Brand new
Okay.
Brodak 40. Just broken in. I broke it in on the block the other day. I probably ran it 22-minute runs.
Very good.
Yeah. And then stuck it in the plane today. It seemed to run pretty good.
Yeah, I have two Brodak 40s, and they're not in a plane right now, but I did like it. It's a good motor. Al Fierro was a good help when I first started. He actually recommended some specific props. They were APC. If Al, if you're there, refresh my memory. I think it was a 11 and a half,
4 and a half.
11 and a half, 4 and a half,
4 and a half.
something like that. And I went and bought two of them, and it worked great.
I am using a Yoki Osho, I want to call it the Yoki Osho prop, and I think it's 11.4 and a half. It seems to run pretty good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
I've never run one of those props before today, and I stuck that on the airplane because it was fairly low pitch. I want to see how that would work, and it worked excellent.
Very good. Hey,
Charles?
Phil, thanks for coming in. Yes, John.
Hey, guys.
If Alexander III shows up, let me know, okay?
All right, we'll do. And we have another guy, Mike Grill. I think it says MICREG. I think that's LL. He says, "Hi there. I'm visiting again. I haven't been with you for some time. I only just found out today that Rusty had passed. Oh boy, I was real sorry to hear that. Yes, he did pass. I'm not sure exactly how long ago did he pass away. Do you guys remember?
Yeah, it's been about
4 months.
I think it's been longer than that. It was last
Yeah,
year.
longer than that.
Yeah, it's longer than 4 months.
Yeah, last year it was. Yeah, no, I'm sorry to hear about that too. Rusty and I used to talk on the phone when I would leave a contest. I would kind of give him a report, how many people were there, and we got to be pretty chummy. And I used to call Rusty often, and Rusty actually helped me get to where I'm hosting the show. So, I'm just kind of carrying on, and I trying to represent Rusty and keep the show at his level. He left at a really high level, and so trying to continue it. And he goes on to say, I'm just going to read what he says. Me and Rusty had lived in the same state, and I had been hoping to meet him sometime. And I'm sure Rusty felt the same way. Rusty was definitely good people. And John, here's Alexander III. He says, "Good evening, Charles, and all on here. Greetings from Scotland." And thank you, Alexander, and greetings to you. So, John, you have a message for Alexander?
Yeah. It took me a while. I couldn't find that Spectre until just about an hour ago.
Oh, right.
And come to find out, the French version, his name is Yves Fernandez. And he's in France, he flies in European contests. But he published his Spectre in the model aviation here in the States. and that was in November of 1982. So that's where the origin. Now, interesting thing about his design is it's based on the KK, the Keelcraft Spectre, has very close to the same outline, but instead of the wings, the smaller Keelcraft, and it is smaller, he's also the guy that designed the Stilomag. And he used his Stilomag wing and on that airplane. It's a beautiful looking airplane, and I found that it's available on Outer Zone. I have a little information here. It's in PDF form on Outer Zone. It's number OZ for Outer Zone 8650. That's the number of the plan. And the nice thing about it, they have a copy of the plan in PDF, and they have the original article there. And you want to read the original article because they show the bottom view of the airplane, and he's got a lot of outthrust in it. But if you look at a standard way, you look at a plan, the bottom, the fuselage is above below the top view, and it's not the top view though. You're looking at the bottom of the fuselage, and so it looks like it's got in thrust instead of out thrust. So you want to read that. So a little bit on there. I'm going to show it here a little bit as soon as everybody has to say what they want to say. I'll put it on show and tell. Show the plans and show a really neat colored photo of the original scepter. So, okay, there we go.
Well, that'd be fine, John, if you go ahead and show it. And while you're getting set up, Al Fierro says it was 11.5 by 4 prop for the Brodak 40. And Walter Moore, if you're listening, I spoke to you a couple days ago. So that's the prop that I couldn't remember what size it was, and Al Frio says it's APC 11.5 by 4.
Oh,
Awesome.
So get that prop.
That's awesome.
And then you had good success with the not Yoshinoa. I guess I'm hungry. What's
Yeah,
the
Yoshi. That's right. Yeah, the Yoshi. That's the one I use. The Yoshi.
The Yoshi 11 by 4 or 11.5 by 4.
I'm going to bring it up in a few minutes when we get a few more people on here anyway. So I'm going to bring the plane up because it's finished.
All right, cool. And that's fantastic. Hey, Mark, thanks for coming in, Mark.
Yeah, hey man. Yeah,
Hey, Mark.
I had to actually go and find an old link. I never could get on Stunt Hangar with Chrome, even Safari. So I went to the history and found the old link to get in. So if anybody else is having trouble getting in, if you go to your history and find the link from like Friday or something, it'll probably still work.
Okay. Sparky is saying, everyone don't panic. I wish I could use his voice, but Sparky's saying, everyone don't panic as the website is down. I'm working on it. I know you're spinning plates, Sparky. I could just see you now spinning plates. And I know you're working on it, and I'm confident you'll get it up and running. No, I'm not concerned. Alex Third says, thank you very much, John. I really appreciate all your work. And hang on, Alex is going to show he's going to show us the he's going to show us. And then Sparky came back and said in capitals, I am working on it.
You're the man, Sparky.
Hang in, Sparky. We get it.
All righty.
Trayan, you look like you're busy tonight, brother. What's going on? You look busy. Oh, okay.
He's polishing the mold.
Yeah, he's polishing. No. Here comes the Howard Rush.
Hey, Howard. Good to see you, buddy. Well, if you show up, there we go.
Yeah, he's coming in. And John's working on opening up that file, I see.
A lot of determined people on here tonight.
Man, you have to be stubborn. If you're not stubborn, you're not gonna make it in this day and time.
Oh, I should live on Stunt Hangar if that's all you need to do.
Me too. Well, as my mother said about me when I was a young fella, she says, I know you was born in Kansas City, but you don't have to be as stubborn as a jackass all your life.
Oh.
So I said, well, okay. You know, I grew up
Can you
thinking
see it at all, guys?
All I see
No,
is the
we just-
file.
We see the file.
Yeah, all we see is the file.
I see your hard drive and your file.
Okay, have to keep working. I see the plan here because I clicked on the top of the file and it opened up, and I thought it would show here.
That's because you are sharing your search page. You need to go on a share screen and share the screen with a plan, with a PDF file.
Yeah, that
Okay.
makes sense. What are you building, Mike?
So go to share screen.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Hold on a minute. I'm clearing some stuff out to make room.
Hey, Mark.
Here comes Brendan. I guess he got in thanks to you, Mike, I imagine.
What you breaking there, Mark?
I'm actually putting the original magician that I built. It was in Africa forever. The guys brought it back on the airplane here the last couple of weeks, and I just had some hinges to repair.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
To get it going again, but you know.
That's awesome.
It's got to make a flight because that was the first one I ever built.
Yes,
And hadn't
absolutely.
even been here yet.
Good stuff.
Okay, very
Cool.
That's
Anyway,
awesome, Mark.
very nice, Mark. I love magicians. I'm really partial to that airplane.
Oh, look at that.
I need to build one just to have a deja vu type of thing.
Yeah.
How does
I've got
the magician fly? My brother built the junior magician with 15, but I don't know how's the big one fly.
Great.
And you know what? I loved it. I actually learned how to fly inverted, and I did figure eight. I'm talking about when I was a little kid. You know, I was flying the magician. It was my favorite plane. Actually, I built two of them. I liked it so much. So it's a very good flying plane.
I got plans for it. I'd like to build one day, but if I ever get around to it.
I don't think it's the best profile out there, but it's
Oh,
a
no.
long way from the worst. I don't know. That's the question I'm gonna pose after Denny gets on here tonight. What does everybody think the best profile out there is right now for contest flying? What is the best profile? Because I'm torn between three. I love the.
Don't say it. Don't say. If you don't say, we'll see what the picks are.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What is?
Just hold off. Everybody hold off on what they believe until we've all said our bit.
You know, this question is hard to answer because it's probably could be someone that would answer the question would have flown all profiles.
That's all I own is profiles. So
Yeah.
So you can always say perhaps what's the best profile you personally flew.
There we got it.
Here we go.
that's
Here's
pretty.
the Spectre. Oh, that is good
That's
looking.
pretty.
I like that rudder. That rudder shape is nice. And
That's
I like
cool.
Pretty. I
the
like
front
that.
and the
That is cool.
Capital I.
yeah,
That
that
looks
is
like
neat.
that could be competitive.
Darn right. That's a.
Actually, a couple of guys here in the States built it. One built three of them. One year and one the next year, and actually did quite well in his local contest and expert with it.
I can see why. It's a good design.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think so too. That's pretty.
I like the open
And-
cockpit.
Isn't that neat?
The Spectre that
That
I know
is
is
neat.
not that nice a plane. It's a big 60 size, but it didn't have the pizzazz that one's got. That's nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
See that here.
Could
here's
you
the
guys
homemade
tell me-
muffler.
For?
Can
Get
you
a
guys
little
tell me
homemade
something?
muffler.
What's
What's
that?
that?
Do you guys see the wing and the stab? The stiletto doesn't scream at you.
It does.
Well, it does. That's because he used the wing and stab from his stilo mag. The designer designed the Stilo-Mag before this.
What
And
was
he
the
did-
stiletto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he
you must
did,
have
he
seen
liked
Stiletto.
the outline of what was his name? The guy that the British guy,
Oh,
Platt, Dave Platt,
Dave Platt.
designed the Spectre that Keelcraft kits, but it's small. So he wanted to use his stiletto wing and stab and elevator, and put it on the an upsized or enlarged Spectre from the Keelcraft. And so this is what he came out with. And in the article that you can get with this, he talks about that. So yeah,
I can't get over.
Well,
I can't
if you
get
look
over
at
how much that
Sparky-
looks like a stiletto.
If you look at Sparky's last 3 planes, his wing and stab's the same one for each plane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's found one
The
that really
fuselage
works.
is both like whatever you like, whatever looks good for you.
Yeah, you pick a fuselage that's
That's right. The
you like
fuselage
the
is
looks of, but you pick a wing and stab that works, and he's found one
That's
that
right.
works.
exactly. Yeah, the fuselage holds the engine, the wing, and the stab and rudder and all that in alignment.
Yeah, other than that, it's just there for looks, and the one that's going to look at it
And
the
you
most
do-
is the pilot. Oh, what happened?
Yeah, you can do it with a
Well, you tore it up.
Yeah.
I think that one's foobarred. Wow. Wow.
Did it go away or something?
Yeah, it just pixelated and then went to pieces. We're looking at everybody again.
Okay, guys.
John, you're great.
That is a sharp
Sparky-
looking
Sparky's
airplane.
here. Why don't you guys give Sparky a second here?
I'm working on the website. We've doubled our size again. We moved over to a new home. It's kind of freaking out. I've been working on it for a month, and this last week has been the transition. So tonight I directed the domain name servers over. If it gives you a not secure error message or whatever, I'm working on it. You know, it's been a pain in the butt, that's for sure. So
Well,
that's
I
the story
appreciate the
behind
hard
it.
work, Sparky. I know you're doing a lot. You're spinning a lot of plates, and I appreciate your effort. Thank you very much.
No problem. Why don't you give me a try, Charles, and try to pull up Stunt Hangar and see if it's up now.
Okay, hang on. Let me go.
Sparky,
there.
I got a question. I know you're a hell of a builder. You're a painter extraordinary.
Yep, I got right in, Sparky.
Well, where
Okay.
did you learn
Click
all
around
this
and see
stuff?
if the speed's any better.
Where'd you
All right.
learn all this computer stuff, man? You just learning it off the cuff?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I learned computers 20 years ago because I had to for Harley Davidson, but I didn't, I designed this stuff all by hit and miss, same as I do for airplanes.
Yes,
You're doing
a
you're
lot
doing
quicker,
a heck of a
Sparky.
good job.
A lot quicker. Everything is really crisp. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll see
Very
what happens. It's you can go to Stunt Hangar with an A, STUNTHANGER, and it'll come up, or with an E, and I don't know. Like I say, it's been a pain in the butt.
Let me catch
we
up on the
appreciate
comments, you guys. Let me catch up, please. Obviously, Sparky, you're already here, so I won't say your comment. And Mike Rigel, he says, I like the open cockpit. And he goes, I've always liked the sleek lines of a control line stunner. And he goes on to say, I appreciate all of you guys for keeping control line flying alive in modern times. And there was another question I saw in there earlier about the RPM of the Rodak P40. Where did it go? But someone asked, what RPM do we run the 11.5 by 4? And I would have to look at my flight log, and I'm not gonna do that right now. Do you have any idea what RPM worked for you, Lynn?
I didn't tack it today, so I don't know. I really don't. I'd be guessing. I'm sorry.
11.4.
Yeah,
11.5
11.4.
by 4.
Probably a 10.5, 11,000.
Actually, it was 11.4. Yeah, I don't know if it was 11.4 or 11.4.5, but in around that range.
Yeah, because Super Tigers on a 6-pitch run 8,500 to 9,500. So
Yes.
on a 4-pitch, you'd run 10.5 to 11.
Okay.
Isn't there like a good way to kind of figure out where the motor is happy? Like kind of put the nose up and common level should drop down a little bit, but it's the transition, how fast the transition is between the two. Wouldn't you want to have like a relatively quick transition when you put the nose up to kick in a 2-cycle?
When they're running low pitch props, they're trying to run the same speed, so they're running the RPM up. That's like putting your car in first gear.
No, I know that. Yeah, I'm aware of it. But every motor has a happy zone where the specific motor is very happy and runs in that narrow range.
Yeah, you gotta fly it. Just fly it and find out.
That's what I've had to do. Try different propellers and different RPMs. Just see where it's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they run different when you run a 4.24 run as opposed to a piped run. When you're running a piped run with a motor, and some motors will run either one if you change the prop properly.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying, because like some people say, well, what kind of 11.4 prop use? But if you use a plane with a thicker airfoil, then you need more pitch to
get drive.
To get your speed up, right? Or if it's thinner airfoil, then you need less pitch to get the same speed. So it's a very relative question, So maybe the better answer would be like, how do you find out what's a good 2.4 brake for a specific motor? How do you know you got it or you did not?
The only way out is just fly it and try it.
Yeah.
I try not to brake. My airplanes, even my Super Tigers, I don't run them at braking. They're either running a slobbering 4 or a hard 4. They don't brake, do they, Charles?
No, it's just solid. Just a solid. I mean, it might just like burp a little bit once in a blue moon, but it's pretty solid. Right before it gets to a 2, it's in a 4, but right at the cusp of going into a 2.
I can't believe how fast the Super Tiger 60 will run in a 4-stroke.
Oh yeah, they'll run quick.
Mine is turning some revs, and it's still in a darn 4-stroke. When it finally hits a 2, hang on. But I've got a 51 like that, and I think it's about ready for a new ring. Must be, because it's running crazy.
We run a lot of Super Tiger 60s. And he had a nice brake on them on those motors. I'm not sure if that's like the stock Super Tiger 60, or I think Big Jim was reworking his motors.
Get a Brian Gardner ABC liner.
Ooh, that's nice.
When they're available again, I'm gonna get 3 of them, but they're not available right now, Sparky.
Yeah.
I wish they were.
I got one left out of a motor, and it ain't for sale.
Yeah.
That was good, John. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that's the original Spectre that Yves was flying and designed. And it's interesting on this article.
Where'd you go,
Another
John?
view of it.
You see that?
Is that
hang on, Sparky.
Sparky's teasing us. He's got
me.
Sparky's posting eye candy, not pear.
Yeah, he's showing his jewelry. He's showing some jewelry off. Then bling bling.
Where do you live, Sparky?
That motor up there is ABC. The motor in that one's ABC. I like that. That way you don't have to dick with them rings, and they'll start when they're hot.
That's all right.
When they're available, I've got in an order for several. I just I have to wait till they're available. I just got the ones for the 46, but I didn't get the heads, so I'm waiting on the heads to get here. But I got 3 46s, and they are pretty. He does beautiful work. Yeah, that you don't need to show that off. We already know it's pretty. If you did
it's better than pretty.
It ain't done yet. It needs clear. Sand it out though.
Sparky, you're doing one heck of a job on that airplane.
Well, we'll see what
It
it
is
looks
beautiful,
like
Sparky.
when it's sitting on the
It is
tarmac.
beautiful, Sparky. And I don't worry about what it looks like because I know what it's going to look like. It's going to be the prettiest thing out there. I want to know how it flies.
Are the planes judged outside or inside?
Inside.
No, they were outside last time under the tent.
They were?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every time I've been, they've been inside. Always under the lights.
Well, we got the restrictions, so.
I have a question, Sparky. The tail wheel, it's not going straight down, but it's a pretty sharp angle straight down. Is there advantage as opposed to having the tail wheel going more at a slant? I mean, the tail wheel wire I'm talking about.
Yeah, less slant means the guy can't push your tail down to the ground, and when it jumps up, nick your prop. If it's straight up and down, it's hard to push down.
Okay. All right. Well, I will incorporate that in the future. That's a great idea. Thank you very much.
Get your pitch angle of the airplane set where you want it, and just shorten up the wire, pointing straighter. It's not straight down; it's angled back. But
I see it. Yeah, it's a little bit of angle, but that's I meant to ask you that last time I saw that. That's pretty neat. Huh.
You did a pretty job on that, Callan.
I hate having this canopy sanded out like that, but it'll sure be nice when it's done.
Well, I've got one on my impact like that. Looks like that. You can't see through it right now, but Snoopy will show up again when I put the clear on it.
Oh yeah.
Very, very nice, Sparky.
I was going to paint the eagle and the USA on the back today, but it's raining outside.
Yeah, not a good day.
What do you put on your aluminum spinners to make the paint stay on, Sparky? Do you just prime it and then paint it, or what?
Okay, it's a little bit different painting metal than it is painting plastic. This one here is carbon fiber, but if you're going to paint a metal spinner, you scratch it with 320, you shoot it with self-etching primer, then you shoot it with a build primer, then you shoot it with dope.
Oh, I skipped a step. Okay. All right.
You got to have a self-etching primer and have some type of acid in it that bonds to the metal. Otherwise, it'll just chip and flake off.
Chip off.
That's what happens after about 100 flights. It starts coming apart. Thank you, Sparky.
Now, Sparky, regarding these painting of the spinner, do you use a light coat? I mean, you want to put a little bit of paint on it, or do you pile it on, or not, or somewhere in the middle?
Man, that's a dumb question to ask me, Charles. The correct answer, I use as little paint as possible on everything.
Yeah, Sparky doesn't pile paint on anything.
Well, I was just wondering how to keep this spinner nice looking. Is it, do you put more paint on it to make sure okay. And obviously you don't put a starter on it.
No.
Never ever.
No.
Yeah, this spinner here wouldn't take it. Somebody was knocking there.
Yeah, I let him in. He's in.
This spinner is only weighs 7 grams. So if you put a starter on it, you burn it right off.
Yeah. Not good.
It'd be kind of a stupid thing to do, to have a 7-gram spinner and put 8 grams of paint on it.
Right. Well, I'm asking you not only for myself, but for our audience. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I use as little paint as possible on everything. There's not even a quart of dope on this airplane yet.
That's unbelievable. That's unreal.
There's a lot of sanding. When you hold it up to light, you can see right through it.
Capital I.
What is that?
I don't know.
Sparky, one of these days.
That was weird.
One of these days in the not too distant future, I'd like to see you put 2 extra coats of clear on one and go win that award at the Nats.
Well, I was thinking about doing it to this one, but I don't know. I got a I think it's not a Viper. It's a Spectrum paint gun that I bought, and I was thinking it's for cars. I was thinking about putting a quart jar on it and spraying a quart on the top, whatever it takes, and that would do it. But I don't know.
No, I want to see you win that award one year.
They don't fly as
You
well.
deserve it.
They don't fly as well, I'll grant you, but I want to see you win that award one year.
Yeah, it'd be great. But that's a popularity contest, and I'm not too popular.
Oh, I don't know. Your planes sure are.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Windy was very popular either. He won it a lot of times.
He had a lot
He
of
won a
friends.
bunch of times. He won a bunch of times.
He had a lot of friends. I think maybe he was bribing them too. Pizza, pizza, come over.
Yeah, he bribed them with Joyzy pizza.
Yeah,
That's right.
Come on over to the house and let's have some pizza. Some pizza pie. He always called it pizza pie.
Hey, I sat in a restaurant, ate pizza with Windy and Karen.
I did
I've
too.
got that.
At the
Yeah,
Nets.
you betcha.
I did too.
Hey, Carl, thanks for coming in.
Oh, you're welcome. Evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, thank you.
John, why are you not showing up? You got your
Y'all
camera
been
turned
y'all
off?
been bouncing off and on mine all night.
John's
Pop
not
up like
showing
the
up on me.
Popping up like
John.
a Brady Bunch or something.
Mark Lumen and Howard are not. None of those three showing up for some reason. We got gray screens for them.
Well, just give it time. It's probably the internet. Let me
Probably.
catch up on the chat box, you guys, and everything else that's going on. Alexander III says, John, thanks. Now, how and where can I get a copy of it? Alexander, just go to AutoZone, and
UK.
John actually gave the plan number.
AutoZone. I'll give him
UK.
I'll give him the whole place. It's OuterZone UK .co.uk.
That's outer zone, not auto zone, guys.
Did you get that? AutoZone.co.
Yeah, not AutoZone like car parts.
Outer Zone.
Outer Zone. Yeah, we're thinking about fixing our cars.
OUTER.
Yeah.
It's
Man, that looks good.
OUTERZONE.
That is beautiful.
.co.
Hang on, you guys.
Thanks, sir.
Hang on, you guys. Go ahead, John. John, did you finish, John?
Okay. Did he get that? Ask if he got that.
Alexander, did you get the address? John could repeat it if you didn't get
Did
it.
Alex?
I'll wait for him to respond. And Gary Sinclair says, I can't get in.
Okay.
Gary,
Outer
try again. Go ahead, John.
You don't.
Okay. Well, it's Outer Zone. Like, I think we're been hacked.
yeah.
You
It's OuterZone .co.uk.
Yeah, we're still on a privacy error. I guess the certificate's still populating. You can't get on Stunthangar.
Okay.
Alexander, the number for that plan, I don't know if John can hear me or not, 028650 on Outer Zone. And that'll get you. That'll get you
That's
to it.
OZ. It O
OZ.
OZ,
8650?
not O2. OZ.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Incorrect. OZ 8650. Okay. Well, I'm glad I said that something then.
Yeah.
I would never have found it and wondered what was going on.
I don't know if you guys see.
Looks good, trying.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, well,
that's pretty. That's pretty.
Wow, nice and shiny. Not too much is going to stick to that. It'll release really well.
Here's the
Sure.
see, where's the
Wow.
chat?
Pretty trying.
I can't find the chat box on here.
Huh.
Oh, there it is. Here's the web link. Control V. outerzone.co.uk.
Thank you, Sparky. Alexander Third says, "Hi, John. Yes, thank you." So I guess he did get it. And
Oh,
Gary
good.
Sinclair is getting in. Whoops. Gary Sinclair, you got in. Fantastic, Gary.
Good deal.
All right. And let's see, you guys, we've had 28 concurrent viewers, and we only have 17 likes. So if you haven't hit the like, thank you very much, Phil. But if you haven't liked the video yet, please hit the like button, the thumbs up, and don't forget the chat box revenue that helps us out. And so please donate. And if you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday, and you need to come in during a live stream so you'll see the chat box so you can, so you'll see the super chat so you can donate. You can't donate on a replay. It has to be a live stream. So just come on in briefly during the live show, watch it a little bit, and hit the super chat, which is the big $sign, and please donate. And don't forget to consider joining our YouTube memberships, which start at $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And you're getting a big bang for your buck. This is fantastic information you won't find anywhere else. Not to mention it being so dynamic where you can ask and get a question right away.
Okay, I gotta get off here. See you guys later. I gotta get back to work on the website. It's screwing up.
Take it easy, Sparky.
Thank you, Sparky.
Take care, Sparky.
See ya.
Take care. All right. And Walter says, hello. I have no idea how I lucked into this chat. Walter, I don't know which Walter you are. I know I have a Walter friend of mine, and I have another new Walter friend. I don't know which one it is. So hello. Anyways, Walter.
Okay.
All right. Hey, I have a question for you, John, or maybe someone else who can answer is, what is a Dutch roll? I was reading in my book, Model Airplane Aerodynamics, and I know that in control line, probably don't have to worry about a Dutch roll, but does anybody know what a Dutch roll is?
Let Mark answer that one.
Yeah, Mark can answer that.
All right, let me see if I can get this. Yeah, it won't come back on. A Dutch roll happens at a certain airspeed with a unstable airframe, mainly like a fuselage era, where I need a visual aid. I got my hand up doing it, but I can't see.
I can't see you either.
Yeah.
Can you turn on your camera? Your camera is turned off.
I keep going on and off, and it's there it goes again. Okay.
Here you are.
Okay. Yeah. A Dutch roll happens where it starts small, and continuously will get worse because the control surfaces can't react in the proper amount of time to counteract the roll. And it's mainly due to rudder movements and fuselage movements. Some aircraft are susceptible to it, some are not.
Okay. Yeah, I was
Can I
reading
answer
about
that question?
Yeah, go ahead, Howard, please.
Hello?
Yeah. I said yes, please do.
It's a lateral directional mode, and it's the motion is like Mark said, but it's usually caused by swept wings. Swept wing airplanes are worse, and the higher in altitude you go, the worse they get. The 727 was actually unstable in Dutch roll, so it had to have a 2-channel yaw damper.
Oh, most all of them now have yaw dampers now. Yeah, upper and lower rotors and everything.
Yeah, and they have. Yeah, I've done yaw dampers for transport airplanes, and they're fancier now than they used to be. They would fight a turn earlier. Now they don't fight the turn.
And you don't want a Dutch roll.
I don't know why. I don't know why swept wing model airplanes don't have this problem, but they don't seem to. People are flying swept wing airplanes and RC airplanes. I haven't seen them have this problem. It doesn't have to do with the control surfaces or anything. It just happens with a rigid airplane, and turbulence will excite it. Now my compressor came on. So
Yeah. You go ahead and mute your mic, and Howard. Thank you, Howard. Yeah, I was reading, and it said that I guess one thing that helps is a dihedral and a small rudder. But anyways, thank you very much, you guys. Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Howard. And Mike Lonke would like to say something. Go ahead, Mike.
Peter Navide's asking if you can put the link in the chat box. He can't access Stunt Hangar for some reason. And I have tried copy and pasting and send him the link from how I got in, and he said that's not working. He's wondering if you could put the link in the YouTube chat box.
Okay, sure. But you know what? I don't really want to do that now that I think about it, because I like having some control.
Yeah.
I had to click on and off of it about 15 times before I got in.
Yeah, I don't want to publicize that. I don't want any trolls to get in.
Yeah, you're right.
I think we already got it.
Unfortunately, we live in a crazy world where we've had, a 14-year-old kid had nothing better to do than harass some old guys talking about flying mile airplanes.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I got in because I think somebody suggested to go to your history from a previous call and look at the link there, and that's the only way I got in. So that did work, and I heard somebody say that earlier.
Yes.
That's the way I got in.
Yeah, I think Mark Lumen suggested that. So
Yeah, it worked.
Just
Now, I gotta-
suggest that to Peter.
Peter, hope you heard that, Peter. And Jim Smith, he says, I'll try again to get in a minute. And Walter, congratulations for getting in, Walter Moore. Yes, you and I spoke and became friends a couple of days ago. I'm glad that you went ahead and registered on YouTube so you can come into the chat box. Hopefully down the road, you'll come into the show as well. But yeah, contribute, ask questions there. You don't have to be an expert to be in here. I'm not an expert, and there's a few of us here that aren't experts. So you can be a hack and not know what's going on, and you want to learn more. Come on in. Everybody's welcome. This is not a highfalutin where you have to have a aeronautical degree to come in here and talk.
No, but it's nice that we have Howard,
Yeah. yes. And Dennis Adamison has an aeronautical degree. I mean,
Yeah.
we have everything here. We have those on the upper echelon, and we have people in the middle, and people who are just trying to get better and better. Carl and I've been flying together for years, and I've seen him progress. He's so it's not only guys who know how to fly really, national caliber or world caliber talent. Anybody's welcome. Speaking of another guy who's learning, my friend Joe Motti says here, "Hi, Charles." He goes, "Hi, all from Charles's pitman." That's true. Joe Motti is my pitman. He's been pitting me a lot because he's off like I'm off during the week in the mornings, and we fly. We would have flown today if it wasn't for the rain. And Peter,
California got rain. Right.
Yeah, I know. Southern California did get some. It was kind of a shower. You guys wouldn't qualify that rain. You guys would go, "You call that rain?" Anyway,
Hey, Charles, what
Yeah.
rain? What rain?
there was showers up here, Carl.
In Escondido?
Yeah.
Wow, we didn't get nothing down south here.
Yeah, it was showers up here.
Oh,
Sprinkles. And Peter Burr says, "Hi, guys. I have contact with the Alberta Control Line Flyer group now. Thanks for the encouragement." Yeah, you're most welcome, Peter. And then Walter Moore goes on to say, "Charles, your advice worked. A new glow plug was what I was needed." Yeah, Walter and I was talking about his Brodak 40, and he had a new glow plug. And whenever he removed the battery, it would shut off. And in our conversations, I related a story to him that when I was at a contest, I couldn't keep my Super Tiger 51 running. Whenever I removed the battery, it would quit. And Bill Biles told me, Charles, put a new glow plug in. And I said, I just put a new glow plug in. He goes, put another glow plug in. And he goes, just as a matter of fact, he went and got his Thunderbolt, and he lent it to me, by the way. So, I had to return it after the contest. And so I put it in, and it started to remove the battery, and it kept running. So it's just because it's a new glow plug, and for those of you who don't know, just because the glow plug is glowing, that does not mean it's a good glow plug. Because that's a mistake a lot of people think. They'll look at it and go,
exactly.
That does not mean it's a good glow plug.
Nope. A good glow plug is a good glow plug. Anything else may be inferior.
Right. Absolutely right.
If it ain't good, it ain't good.
That's right.
I bought 11 new plugs, and not one of them will stay lit when you take the battery off. Motor was
not good. That's a bad scene.
Wow, 11. What brand was that?
I'm not gonna say. I bought some for myself, and I bought some for two of my friends, and we all just got them in and split them up and went out flying, and none of them worked.
So I guess we're not friends. You're not going to share with us. You want us to go waste our money, also, huh?
I don't. They were SIG plugs. I shouldn't.
Yeah, Tom Dixon was saying he had trouble with them too. They were great for years, and then they all went bad.
That's who I got them from.
Yeah.
He had a bad. He got a bad batch. He got a big batch, but I got 11 of them, and bad deal.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, that happens with every manufacturer. They sometimes they have a bad run, or some quality assurance just kind of goes away, and you end up with inferior, not up to par, type of results. And Howard Rush, he'd like to say something. Go ahead, Howard.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see me or not, but
can't see you.
I can't see anything. You can't see anything. I just wanted to show an example of my mathematical prowess. I just made some billet tools, which I cut with a laser, and they're exactly half as big as they're supposed to be. I think I can choose radius and diameter.
Sounds like something I do.
I can't see him, but take your word for it, Howard.
So Howard, just
yeah, I've lost my video. I'll go ahead and come in or something. Thanks.
Exactly half as big as it's supposed to be.
just scale your airplane you're building down.
His airplane's in kind of late stages for that.
Well, you got a hatchet.
Oh, nice.
Oh, ouch! Even
friends like you, who needs enemies?
Oh.
Hey, Howard knows I'm just pulling his chain. He flies with the biggest kidder of them all.
Oh yeah.
Good old yeah.
Howard.
I heard his
Howard may not be the big dog.
Ex-flying buddy. I heard his ex-flying buddy went and disconnected the handle from the lines while a guy was starting his engine.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I'd have hurt somebody for that. Oh,
be having a fit.
Oh man. Oh,
anybody does that to me, I hope they're in the next county by the time I get out of the circle.
I know, but
say that. I shouldn't say that. Mike will probably do it to me.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens.
I've had him pull all kinds of tricks on me, but thank God that's never happened. Oh.
Would sure get your attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would create quite a bit of anxiety.
The thing y'all don't know about Howard, or some of you may not know about Howard. Howard may not be the biggest of dogs, but he's a big dog in stunt and in combat. Howard is a big dog, but he flies with the real big dogs and still holds his own. He's pretty good. He's a lot better than he lets on. He's a lot better than he lets on. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. On the chat box, Walter Moore, he says, I live in Kenna, West Virginia, just north of Charleston. And he laughed, LOL. And then Jack Snavely says, hello, all again. Excuse me, hello, all. Again, people in Stuntland and in the hangar or shop and all around the world. I think you just about covered everybody, Jack. Thank you very much.
I believe it did.
And, Jack says, I've been watching the replays so I can sleep for work.
We're glad we're helpful somewhere.
He's got his priorities straight.
Thank you very much for watching. Yes. Thank you.
My wife does that with windy videos. Anytime she wants to go to sleep, she just puts on a windy video and she's asleep in minutes.
Yeah, he's put me to sleep too. But I do enjoy it. I was watching Wendy and Ashley today. I was watching a replay today, and I miss him very much. I wish he would come back. I told him about what we're doing. He said it was great. That was neat. But I don't know if he's going to come in or just maybe watch us. But I hope you're listening and watching, Wendy. That'd be great.
If he comes in, we will find out how to do some excellent painting because he's the best painter I've ever seen.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Well,
he took a plane. He took a plane that I saw was crashed, and I saw it had colors on it that I thought, there is no way you will ever patch that where it won't show like a beacon.
Right.
And when he got through with it, you could not tell it had ever been damaged.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Hey, Howard, we see you now, Howard. Now you can show us what you want to show us.
No, not much to look at.
Now you got no voice.
I hear him. No, I hear him.
Oh.
Do I have voice?
Yeah, you have voice.
Yeah.
We got you now.
There's a fillet tool.
I'll be darned.
So what is that, Howard? It looks like a lollipop. What is that?
It's a fillet tool.
It's a fillet tool.
Okay.
But it's
very cool.
Size, so yeah, anybody building a half A or something like half A stuff.
Very, very nice. Now you made that on your 3D printer?
No, that's laser cut. And the shop stinks now because I cut it out of Formica. I'll go make some bigger ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Thanks. Thanks for your persistence. Thanks for coming back in.
Makes the shop stink cutting Formica. That's pretty good. I'm gonna tell you what, that man can do it all.
And we're getting a looping problem. Hey, Howard, do you have an extra YouTube tab up? We're getting a loop since you've been in. And Peter is a supporter now. Thank you, Peter. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate that, Peter. That's awesome. So we got a new member. I wish I had some sort of recognition sound. I'm going to mute your mic, Mike Lonke. Anyways, that's fantastic, Peter. Thank you very much. So now we have one member, and we have 23 likes. And someone hit the super chat. Please donate. It really helps us out, helps Sparky out. You know, he just invested with a new server to increase the speed of the Hangout. So, please help out. Brendan would like to speak. Go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah, I got two things I wanted to ask about. First, maybe y'all saw me a month or two ago working on a bi-slob. My son's birthday's this week. I'm going to get that out for him, but he's definitely a better flyer than me. I can hardly do an outside loop, but I kind of want to know from people who've flown bi-slobs before, what we're getting into with that, because I don't think it's your traditional flying. So can anybody talk about bi-slobs, and just so we don't put it in the dirt right out of the gate?
It's not your conventional stunner. It does not fly
Not at all.
a 5.2 lap. Most of the time I've flown 3/4 of the flight before I ever make a full lap. You just
Yep.
sit. Bi-slob is a plane to go up and just make it hover, give it up and down the elevator, and it'll just sit there. And sometimes you just do it till it comes all the way down and just about touches the grass. You don't want it to touch because nasty things happen when it touches, but bring it almost all the way down to the ground and then just stop it and let it come back up. And you just flop it over. You're literally hovering, and you give it full up, and it just flops over, and it's lost about 6 inches, but it's still sitting there hovering. And you just play with it. It's a down, take it downwind and play with the airplane. It's not a stunner. It's a play airplane.
Okay, well, like I said,
with it.
Yeah, whatever I can do to make sure that right out of the gate. I mean, my 11-year-old's going to be stuck to it, and he can kind of hold his own. But if he doesn't know what to expect, I kind of worry it's going to go right in the dirt.
Yeah,
just watch some videos of it, and
it'll fly slow, and it will make full laps, and just play with it and have fun. Tell them just relax and feel it out, because it's very forgiving. You can really screw up and survive that airplane.
It doesn't do loops, it does flops.
Okay,
that's true. Yeah.
So it should be pretty up there then when you're looking to roll it over, because it'll drop a good bit as it flops over.
Well, I mean, if you try to do a loop, you're hovering it, and you got it hovering straight up and down. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It just kind of, you give it up and it just does that, and it's back and it's lost about 6 inches. But it hasn't lost 10 feet like a lot of the planes would. It just loses a few inches and comes right back. But real loops, if you try to do a real loop with it, you've got to really concentrate, because it comes up and it just goes, it's not a precision aerobatics airplane. It's a fun plane. It's a sport fun plane, and that's what it's very, very good at. But you don't want to take that thing to a stunt contest, because I've never seen anybody that could really stunt one. Now, my own plane, I took to the field twice and let other people fly it and got it destroyed both times. So I don't know. Go ahead.
Brendan.
Yeah.
The controls on a bi-slob are set up way overthrow. Okay. Yeah. He's going to be stalling the heck out of the airplane when he flies it. If he tries to fly it normal, it's going to go like that the first time he gives it what he considers a normal amount of elevator.
I can't see Mike to know what you just showed.
Ultimatum.
He said it's going to go like that. What's that look like?
It's going to really pop.
There you are.
Okay. The elevator on a bi-slob goes like this. It's got tons of throw. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that airplane is meant to fly like this, hover, go up a little bit. Then you kick full elevator so you can basically flip it on itself.
Okay.
You can fly it gently and do big maneuvers with it, but Angstrom is not going to be in that mindset, because his hand is already trained up and down. And if he uses that much maneuver on the handle on a bi-slob, the airplane is going to go, whoa.
I gotcha.
It's turned so fast and so sharp that his brain ain't going to be able to get around what's happening with this plane, because it's meant to do that. It's meant to hover. It's meant to basically flip over in place, either inside or outside. So it's made to hang on the prop and then flip. That's really what it is. You can do sweeping outsides and insides, but you're only going to need just this much handle to do it.
Okay.
If you keep the airspeed up, it will fly nice and slow. But the second you hammer on the handle, you put out all this deflection, you're going to kill all your airspeed, and the airplane's going to stall. It's a stall flying type of airplane.
Okay.
Watch some videos. There are a bunch of videos out there with bi-slob fly.
Yeah,
and you're gonna have a good idea from over there. Hey, this is what people are doing with it, and how is it meant to be having fun with.
YouTube bi-slob. You can go to my channel. I've got 1 or 2 bi-slob videos on there, And go
So do I.
are meant to fly.
Right. Yeah, and I've seen some of it. That's why I know that. Yeah, it's kind of floppy and whatnot. But I don't know. It's not that a lot of those people are explaining anything. They're just fun flying out there and showing it off. So
that's it. You're having fun with it.
That's what they do.
Fun plane. We fly whole patterns. Not whole patterns. We fly whole flights with it and never do a full lap.
Exactly. Keep it all downwind the whole time.
Yeah. Keep it downwind.
It never goes upwind because it's not comfortable upwind.
No.
Okay.
It's not. It's a fun airplane to just keep busy and just keep flopping back and forth and just having a ball with. But
And a bislob loves a windy day.
I don't think I've ever flown 20 laps on a bislob, and I've never crashed one. But I have hard landed one because I touched the grass with the rudder and it just says flop, and then the propeller hit the grass and quit. But anyway.
And Brandon, another thing you need to be prepared for, if he does start stalling it a lot,
yeah,
and it starts to get wonky, even though it's got all that engine offset and all that rudder offset, if it starts to get loose on the lines and it comes in a foot or two and then decides to go back out, the lines will break or the bell cranks will pull out of them.
Okay.
Right, Len?
Oh, yeah. We know. I've done it a couple of times.
We have seen this before, yeah.
Yes, we have.
I thought I was the only one who had seen that. Seems like everybody knows about this trick.
Oh, yeah. I've flown lots of bislobs. So has Mike. We know all about this game.
Well,
and we've come close.
Yeah, if you get real super aggressive with it and you get the airplane slack on the lines, it wants to go back out. But sometimes it wants to go back out too much, and it'll hit the lines
and then come back in again. Exactly. Yeah. Then you're in a problem.
And before you know it,
it's in and it's out. It's in, it's out, and then bang, in it goes.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that twice, even though I know better. I've done that.
Yeah, because you get overzealous with it.
Yeah.
You all said keep it downwind, and not doing a whole lot of laps with it. What, for Angstrom getting on it for the first time and stuff, what about essentially going no wind on it and just getting it up and him? I mean, I don't know him going back and forth, without taking it around. It seems a little strange for him.
Okay.
What about no wind
day or low wind day would be good.
Yeah, that would be the best way. And just keep it easy on the controls, because keep your handle spacing not too wide, because if it's got too much, it's got so much throw that otherwise it's going to be up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah, my preference is whatever we can do to just get it in the air without doing a bunch of crazy, but keep it in the air just to get some comfort flights and for him to kind of figure it out, without rushing this.
Yeah.
Put your controls in small, let her rip. Yeah, that'll work.
Question I had, the other thing I was going to get at was, Angstrom, I don't have very many handles, so I don't know the variety out there, but I assume that handles can be, a huge part of good precision flying. So I did see a handle site, I don't know if it's a good site or not, Oki Air, but they mentioned a handle that already was built in with like a 15-degree down, essentially to make it so you have as much up and down as your wrist would give you. So I'm going to open this up to, I'm trying to kind of troubleshoot handles, even a handle for big hands, but get a sense of what a good handle would be so I can get good, a couple good handles and start running with those.
Don't go with a biased handle. That's what that's not the one with the 15 degrees down is. That's a biased handle.
That's what it's like.
You don't want to go that way. You want to go with
don't go that route.
90 degrees up, down.
Yeah.
In general, yes, you can get the equal travel with your hand down and up by just biasing down a little bit. However, that's very problematic later on when you're flying, because you have your natural position of your level, right?
Right.
And that's where you want to have your plane flying level in your natural position. Okay. not in some kind of a bias other point somewhere. And you might want to speed it up a little bit or slow it down a little bit, depending on how much input your flying style allows, right? There are people that like to hammer the life out of it. I'm one of them. And there are people that like to just give it a little touch on the controls to do a square, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, those planes are uncontrollable. I have a tough time just keeping just flying those things. Okay, so but that's so there are people are from one extreme to the other one. Long story short, but regardless who is who,
That's a good
you want to have your neutral position, flying level, or if you fly inverted, you should be also in your neutral position.
You got the fancy clips too. You got the kitty flips.
And the conversation is good because I had this conversation. I think me and Tryon may even talked about it a little bit too, but me and Dave talked about it a lot too. And just an explanation on what they were saying is that neutral point. Your neutral is not going to be everybody else's neutral as far as your hand goes.
Yeah.
But it needs to be natural, and the grit needs to be natural. Now, trust me, this does not come from a lot of experience. It's come from a lot of talk and research. With mine, I do have just a little bit when it's neutral. As you can see, there is just a little bit of bias in the handle, and I set the clips so that everything is equal after that. But if you go. If the whole handle itself is biased like that up to 15 degrees, I could see that being,
causes trouble.
Not an advantage. Another handle that is kind of interesting, is
that is different.
Well, this your hand is certainly, to the neutral point, and it just gives your pinky.
Wow. That's interesting to handle.
Because your pinky's a little bit shorter.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I've never seen it before.
Never
That's
seen
pretty
one.
cool.
No, either have I.
Like that.
That's
very cool.
Wild.
Yeah.
Let me give you a
Anyway,
little
that's just my small input, and trust me, guys. I mean, it's not from a lot of experience, but it's just from my experience and a lot of research, and this really works well for me.
Hey, where'd you get that? Where'd you get
That's
that?
a good handle, Mark.
Yeah. Actually, Randy Smith, just because he was close.
And the Smith brothers are selling those too.
Yeah,
and sell one like that.
Yeah,
that
they do.
That other handle looked like it'd be wearing a flip flop on your finger there.
Mark,
I tell you, go ahead.
I have a question for you, Mark. That handle that you just showed us, does it have some kind of inserts in a composite?
In the green one?
No. The composite handle, that one, does it have inserts in the holes?
Yeah, it does.
What kind of inserts are those? Oh, so kind of like, I see that.
Like a brass. I
wonder where could you buy some of those?
I don't know. They're pretty small.
Yeah.
That handle looks like it has a lot more throw on the bottom. Or is there just an optical illusion from where the grip is?
No, it's gripping in the center.
It would be if I get to the right. Yeah, this is centered. Obviously, it's centered between my pinky and my index finger. I've got fairly narrow spacing here because I'm new. Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, it's very lightweight. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, I want to, a couple of things. I could probably talk about handles a little bit, right? So if you have a handle, say this is your handle, right? A lot of people are biasing their lines to say that I get more throw or less throw. And that's actually not exactly true. Because if I move, it doesn't matter if I move this much, right? You're looking at the distance from the application from here to the top and the angle. How much did you deflect them, right?
Okay.
Make sense?
Right.
So if I have two lines here and I'm moving this much, you're looking at this distance from here to there, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, if I move these lines here, for the same movement, guess how much you have? It's the same thing. It really doesn't matter. It's fake. It's a fake way of making go more up or down, because this is the extreme, right? Let's say you want more down and you move the lines up, right? Like that. Well, obviously the plane is going to pull it down in your hand naturally, right?
Right.
Makes sense? Or or if you move them here, this is going to pull it naturally this way. So it's something that, you know, mentally you think like, oh, now it's turning faster one way or the other. No, the plane is pulling it out of your hand and it turns just easier. It just makes sense. If I pull here, it's going to do that, right? If I pull here, it's going to do opposite, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, keep your handle balanced on your hand, not over here, not over there. Just keep it balanced, right? And the place where you actually change, you want to make sure that you on equal angles on your bell crank, you have equal angles deflection on your flaps and elevator, and they're symmetric. And that's during the building process.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So when you build your process, you may want to have your line from your push rod from the bell crank to the flaps, right? You want to make it smaller or longer, but you look at the bell crank for equal deflection. Are you getting equal up and down movement on flaps? Because that's where the problem is most of the time.
But if a person bought a plane or was given a plane, they come into a plane and they can't get access to fix that, then biasing the handle is kind of a remedy. I mean, I know it's not the most ideal, but if you cannot get to the control system and you can't adjust it, then that is a remedy. It's to bias the handle. I'm not speaking from theory. This is how I have addressed some planes that have issues, and I have that does work. That's not the best thing. It's ugly. It's embarrassing when you go to a contest and someone sees your handle and it's all biased. I remember Dave Fitzgerald at the 2017 or so Golden State. He was talking about a pilot who had a handle that was all biased, and him and Paul Walker and other guys got together and they got cut into the airplane and fixed it for him. But that's what he was doing to compensate for it, to get it to turn equal.
Yeah, and it's always uncomfortable. You always fight the plane.
Yeah, it's not the best feeling when you bias it. And also, I want to get back to the biased handle. I just suspect, as I've spoken to Tom Morris, the prior owner to Tom Morris, that he sold to Oki Air, and I just suspect that if he had those biased handles, you know, he had them there for a good reason. I mean, Tom's a pretty smart guy, and so I bought one, and I'm going to try it because you know sometimes people say don't do that. And but I like to try everything myself because I've had people tell me this, try that, and what they say doesn't work. And I think on the other end, what they say doesn't work could work also. It could work for a particular situation where they can't fix the plane, and the only recourse they have is to have a biased handle to make it turn equal distance. So
but I think the key point here, Charles, it always goes back to your personal, natural, neutral position, because some personal natural is like this, some is like that, some is somewhere over here, some it's even lower. So if you go and look at these kind of positions, now the bias works. Okay. So I think it's just meant to suit certain, you know, natural positions more than anything.
Well, I suspect that it might help a plane that has an issue you can't mechanically fix. That's what I suspect. That bias handle would be a great application, is when you can't fix it. Because I have a plane I'm flying right now. I'm really limited because the person who built it didn't put adjustable lead outs. All they put in there was a weight box. So I'm having to do all kind of things to get the plane to fly better. You know, but you know, when I build a plane, it's going to be, hopefully I build it so it's symmetrical. Everything is, you know, the same. Turns the same, turns just as quick, either direction. But sometimes you have no solution but to bias the handle.
Yeah, I get it.
So when you watch the at least out here where we live, when you watch the top flyers flying,
Right.
they pull their handle in closer to their body and center it on their body, except for Paul Walker. Paul Walker aims like he's aiming a gun, but even his handle is straight up and down. When you pull it in like this, if you've got bias in the handle, you can't pull it in here. It's very uncomfortable. Your level winds up here, and you wind up. Well, anyway, I've seen basically all of the top flyers out here on the West Coast, which includes a lot of Nats winners and a lot of world champs, and people who have flown in the world champs and placed in the world champs, and almost to a man, their handles are straight up and down.
Yeah, these guys build these planes too. As I'm saying, the bias handle might be a fix for a plane you didn't build right, or a plane you was given.
I don't think a bias handle does anything but make the pilot feel a little like he's a little more comfortable as he's flying the airplane. Because when you first get to a straight up and down, when you actually have to, it feels like you're putting a little up in it.
Yeah,
it's hard to say, but you have to get used to flying it straight up and down. But once you get used to it, most of your flying is done with your pinky and your ring and your index finger, just little adjustments like this.
Right.
Yeah.
I heed your point. I understand what you're saying, and I, by the way, I don't fly with a bias handle. I'm going to try it, but I just suspect that Tom Morris is an intelligent person. If he made that offering in his catalog, there must be
reason he did that. The reason I believe he did that was because there are so many people that were flying that thought that was the best handle to go to, when in fact it probably wasn't.
Yeah.
But people wanted it, and you don't try to. If your customers say this is what I want, you don't give them something else. If they want a Ford, you don't give them a Studebaker.
Good point. And Howard Rush wants to chime in. I see your handle, Phil. I'm not ignoring you, Phil.
Yeah.
Let me see what Howard wants to say. Go ahead, Howard. And please turn your mic and your camera on. That'd be great.
That's just for you to look at, Charles.
Okay, very good. Yes. Now,
I was thinking about you when I went to the store today.
Well, my brand of choice is the what's that one? It's the pink thing here. It's the Boom Chicka Pop.
Oh,
did you see how big this sucker is?
Yeah, I could finish that during the show.
You wouldn't need anything else for the rest of the night.
And by the way, Al, thanks for coming in, Al. And you made it in. And Gary, I hope you haven't given up, Gary, because I'm not Gary, but Peter, you give it a try, because Howard can't. Al got in, and I went to Stunt Hangar, clicked on the at the bench, and I got in, and I just got out of it. Go ahead, Howard. I'm gonna stop yapping. Go ahead.
Howard has to turn his mic on.
The mic's off, Howard. So your camera, for that matter, but.
Going back to the original conversation about the handles, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think the original where there was kind of two scenarios going on. One scenario was talking about a biased handle and changing flight characteristics. I think the original question, at least the way I heard it, the original question was about finding that neutral point in your hand. Is that correct, Brennan?
No, I had just run into the biased handle on a site. I'd never seen that before, so I kind of wanted to understand if that was a good way to go or not. The other thing is I'm really just trying to get my hands on a good handle for us to make sure we have that, taken care of in a good shape that we can grow into and just get better and better at stunning with. And also, we just have really big hands. We're both over 6 feet.
Oh, that's true, right? That's true.
Yeah, I have big hands. I have a disease called acromegaly, which in Latin means big hands. So I had a surgery to move a tumor out of my pituitary gland. So I have big hands. I feel you on that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a sense where I can track a good handles down, or if people got suggestions where I can get them. I'd like to shop around a little bit. and get a good one.
Well, regarding that, I actually like the handle that Brent Williams.
Yeah, the Fancher handles. They're
the
good.
Fancher handle is my favorite handle. I know and Jim Smith has a good handle. I haven't personally tried it, but it looks like it's a very good handle. So I definitely wouldn't discount what he sells. And he's on the show. Jim Smith does that. And speaking of Jim Smith, he's just given up. He's tried to get in. He's tried different browsers, different connections. He just can't get in, and he has to get up early. So he's not going to be in tonight. And so another good handle is the one that Tom Morris used to sell, or maybe Oki Air sells it, but the non-biased one is the one that I use. I did get a.
That's what Phil's holding up.
Because I want to try it.
Yeah.
That's the biased handle, isn't it, Phil? Or that's straight up? That looks like it's biased.
That's straight.
That's a straight one.
That's a straight
No,
one.
it's a biased one.
It looks
Phil,
biased.
Phil, you turn your mic on.
Can't hear him.
Still can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Phil.
Double dribble.
Okay.
There you go.
That's better.
That is the Tom Morris handle. I got these from Tom, and I just wrapped tape around it to try to soak up some of the oil from flying. Now that I'm flying electric, I can take this crap off because it won't do it. But anyway, I cut finger grooves and stuff in mine so that I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah, we can see it.
Is it a straight one or a biased one?
This one's biased. I have a straight one on order as well as two fancers. But this is a biased handle. The straight one is just like this, except it's your handle would be straight and this would be straight. And of course it's adjustable. But anyway, this is what I've flown with for the last 15 years. But now this is what Jim sells now. Jim Smith sells now. I don't have the cable on it yet because it's still sticky. I just painted it a couple hours ago. Here's one that's painted. Now I did a little extra to this one. I put the finger grooves in this one so I could grab it the same way every time. You don't need it. You put your hands on that. I flew Tran's plane with Tran's handle. It was just like this, and you just
those are
didn't need
good
it.
handles.
So when I bought this, I didn't put it on this one. But let me tell you this:
That's awesome.
if you get the biased handle and you learn to fly with your hand like this, and you get decent at flying, if it's something you're going to do, it's more than sport, and you're going to really try to learn to fly stunt, sooner or later, you're going to realize that you need one that's like this, because you can feel the plane so much better, and you really just fly on these two fingers anyway. These two middle fingers, all they do is hold the plane. These fly it. And you're going to want to learn to hold to fly it on just those fingers, just like that. And so you want the plane, you set the plane up where it's dead straight up and down. If you need more up and down, you got hold. That's what these are for. You can get more sensitivity or less, in or out. And that's all the bias you're ever going to need. It's all Paul Walker uses. And if anybody's any better flyer than Paul Walker, it would have to be David Fitzgerald. But one of those two guys are the two best in the country and the two best I've ever seen. So anyhow, that being said, I think the world of Les McDonald and several, Bob Hunt, and a bunch of others, but those two guys are phenomenal. And they use handles that are set up like this. So if you're going to stick with it, my suggestion, just my 2 cents, start with something like this so you don't have to change. Because when you've been flying for 50 years and you change from a biased handle to an unbiased handle, it's nerve-wracking for a while. It's really different. It feels very strange for a while. And
also
you wonder,
handle to a hard nightmare.
the hard points. The hard point.
I like the hard point better.
These are actually hard points, and what you're going to notice
they are.
What you're going to notice when you change from a cable, like this is the cable handle, you change from this to a hard point, you can feel the plane much better.
Yes, you can. 100 times better.
You can feel the plane a whole lot better, and you'll feel like, well, darn, I can see what it's doing. I can feel what it's doing, why it's doing it, and all that stuff. You'll feel better. You'll feel the plane better, and after a few flights, you'll fly the plane better. But it's what you get used to. But my thing is, if it's better and all the top guys are using it, do you really want to use this and have to switch later? I mean, why spend all that extra time and money? Now, the one caveat to this or whatever is Trey's trick with that cable, that Teflon Kevlar cord. That is almost like flying a hard point. I did that to one handle, and I've loaned the handle out now because nobody could believe that would make that, that's not going to be any different. So I let one of my buddies try it, and I didn't get the handle back. So
yeah,
what's that tell you?
That speaks volumes. Absolutely.
I only had a piece of that cord about that big. I cut that much off, and the spool has disappeared downstairs. So I only had enough for one. So I made one handle up, and I took it to the field, and I tried it. I said, darn, I can't believe the difference. And I let one of my buddies fly it. I did not get my handle back. That gumming,
you're not going to either.
Probably not. It's a handle I made, so it's made out of the bar. It's a bar stock, but it's made. It's like this, except it's one of the ones with that have the bolts that come through, and then the bars down here. There's no wood in here, and it's got the nuts up here where you adjust them in and out up here. But it's nylon, white nylon, so it's one of the prettiest handles I've ever done. But I didn't get it back. That kind of threw me a loop. I was packing my stuff up. I didn't
Try on
I
you're
got
muted.
home. I got looking. I got it home and it wasn't there. And I said, "Well," so I called him. He said, "Yeah, I've still got it. I'm gonna hang on to this a while."
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I better go find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Eddie
I
wanted
want to share something, guys.
Hang on, Tryon. I'm sorry, but Eddie communicated to me that he wanted to say something. So go ahead, Eddie. And then Tryon.
I just got a quick question before I got to get off here. The chart shows that a 40 size plane should use 60-pound Spectra. Okay, then it jumps to a 60 size plane should use 100-pound Spectra. If you're going to fly, say, a 46 size or 50, let's take a Super Tiger 51 or something like that, do you still want to bump up to the 100-pound, or do you want to go to like 65 or 70-pound, or is that the chart that they use? Or would a 46 fly with the 60-pound?
How heavy is the airplane?
I don't know.
It's that.
Right now, the only one I've got the 46 on it is the Tudor 2.
Well,
so it's a fairly light plane.
Somebody read the rule to me a week or two ago, and it says that the line has to be able to support, I think it was 10 times the weight of the airplane.
That's right.
So get you a pull test gauge and figure out how much the airplane weighs, and then go 12 times the weight of the airplane. That's not that much, guys.
Yeah.
Go 12 times the weight of the airplane, and if it'll hold that, you're safe.
Okay, now another question. Does it have to be the Pro Spectra or whatever? Or does
Ask Mike. He's the guy who's the Spectra guy here, and he has most of the answers for you.
Or is it any braided line?
No.
Good quality braided line.
You don't want to use any braided line. No. Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, you made to pontificate.
You know this.
Well,
a lot of
And after Mike, Tryon gets a chance to say what he wants to say.
Go
ahead, Mike.
The way the rule was originally written, it's called out Spectra line. That's the one that was passed and approved.
Exactly.
Everybody started using spider wire and Dyneema and all this other stuff, and it's not the same line. No. It's stretchier. It's different, has different characteristics, but it's not going to matter after January of 22 because they're removing the material requirement. That's all past the first initial vote. So anything is going to be legal. And what I'm afraid then is a lot of guys are going to start just using any old braided line that they find at the fishing shop, and they're going to get into trouble, and we're going to have flyaways and broken lines. Mm-hmm. Spectra stretches less than everything else, and Spectra is the Power Pro brand. Power
Pro, yeah.
It's Spectra. That is the only line manufactured. Spectra is a Honeywell product. Honeywell leases that technology out to PowerPro to manufacture that line. Other gel spun molecular fiber line, even though it might have a similar manufacturing process, it is not Spectra line. I have found Dyneema and Spiderwire too stretchy for my taste, even more so than Spectra line. But PowerPro is what you want to use. But come January 1, I mean, Elvis has left the building, man. Anybody can use anything they want as long as it passes a 10G pull test. But I think a lot of guys are going to get in trouble using lines that aren't up to snuff because they're going to cheap out and buy the cheapest,
I agree.
type of Power Pro fishing line they can buy. But I'm tired of talking about it. I've been talking about Spectra and Power Pro for 5 years, trying to get the information out there. You still got all these knuckleheads posting online and in groups. Get you some spider wire. It's great. Get spider wire. It's not.
Spider wire is
That's why.
flat wound.
That's why I haven't got anything yet, because I want to make sure I don't want to, like I say, go out there and get something inferior to what I'm supposed to.
Buy Power Pro, you won't be sorry. But if the proposal passes, anything's legal after January. So
Well, I don't want just legal. I want.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm predicting here. I'm going to make a prediction that there's going to be a bunch of people using different stuff and then complaining about losing airplanes, breaking airplanes, and stuff like that because their lines broke, or they're using way too thin a line for what they're trying to fly on. They're not using the proper pound.
Trying to cut down wind resistance or something, and
it's going to be a big poop show, and those of us that have been around a long time and using it and know how to use it the right way. Al was in here a minute ago. He knows the deal. Anybody who's been using it knows what to use. And I have preached till I'm blue in the face about using Power Pro in 100 different threads on Stunt Hangar, and even here on this show, I've talked about it times a year for the last 5 years.
Mike, just make a video and then just refer them to your YouTube channel or Facebook channel. Make a video and just say once and done. Go to the video. And with that,
that's a good idea.
There's Al.
I'm going to try and
Al's got the right stuff there.
There it is.
I know we're still in the Power Pro though. Just real quick, that's the Power Pro, and that's the Max Quattro that Al is holding up, and that is the same rated strength as regular Power Pro, except it's 25% thinner. So you can get a 100-pound test. You can get a 100-pound test that measures 15 thousandths, and it's 100-pound test.
Well,
that's awesome.
So there you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Al. Appreciate
All
it,
right,
guys.
Cool, guys. Well, I'm out of here, guys. I'll see y'all next time.
All right,
Eddie, wait just
and Tryon, go ahead, Tryon. I'll give you a chance. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead, Tryon.
Okay, guys. So a couple of things I want to talk about. Since we're talking about handles, equal turn up and down and stuff like that, here's a cool trick, okay? Let's say these are your lead outs that come out of your plane. They don't have to be finished or anything like that. So let's, for sake of argument, these are the lead outs, right? So what you do, you move them back and forth, right? And get your flaps in a neutral point, right? So it's neutral. So let's say they are in this position when the flaps is neutral, right?
All right.
Some like this, let's say. Take a piece of tape and just put the tape on one of them like this. Make sense? Take a piece of tape and match it on the other side. So they're the same, like that. So now you can move them forward and back, right?
Right.
And you can match this end, so you have equal movement, right? That's equal movement in one direction and in the other direction. And check your flaps movement to make sure that's the same angle, right?
Right.
Doesn't matter where the bell crank is. If it's 25 degrees this way, 25 degrees, who gives a shit? It really doesn't matter, right? The point is that on equal movement on your hand, you're going to have equal deflection on the flaps. And if you have equal deflection on the flaps and that's married to the elevator, you're also going to have equal deflection on the elevator. So for your equal movement on your hand, you're going to have nice and even run on your flaps. So this is a quick and dirty trick, So, and this you can do it like before you do the final gluing or something like that, when you can still have access to the flaps, bell crank to flaps connection. So this is one trick, okay?
I like that trick, Trying. That is so genius.
That
because
is a good
it's so
idea.
simplistic. Love it. Thank you very much.
I mean, it's easy. I mean, you don't care where the bell crank. I don't care if it sits like this or an angle or like that.
Yeah.
Who cares? The equal movements yields equal movement on the flaps. And if you have that,
right,
the plane should fly pretty even top and bottom. More, right? That's
True
one
enough.
of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were telling me like, why am I not painting after I finish the part, right? The idea is that if you try to take a surface like this and try to buff it out when you put clear coat and stuff like that, first of all, you might have a little very tiny pinholes in it, right? When you put the clear coats, you're gonna have big world holes in there, because it's not gonna bridge over. Okay, it's gonna leave pinholes everywhere. So it's a pain in the ass to deal with it, to put clear coats and stuff like that. And when you have a surface like this that comes out of the mold, if you put the paint in a mold and everything in a mold, when you pull out the part, this is how it's going to look. Why work again? Since the mold is polished, why do you have to paint afterwards and polish again and buff again and stuff like that? It just doesn't make any sense. So,
wow.
So just if you're curious.
Isn't that cool?
Very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice.
But from the outside, if you look like at a distance, it looks black, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. But you can see like there are some patches of things in there. You can see the fibers that go at 45 degrees. That's for torsion, right? And obviously the surface finish is whatever you see.
Very
that?
nice. Very nice.
Hi guys.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
And
very good.
Yeah, so this is this. By the way, I did weigh the four pieces that I just took out the most to polish them. So I took all of these parts that make the elevator, basically all the skins.
Right.
And they're 24 grams.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Man, you're gonna make Sparky sick.
So this
Wow.
and that, this makes one side of the elevator, right? This is 24 grams.
Wow, that's 1 ounce basically, right?
And the rest of the glue that the spar that you put the hard points for the take apart system, because mine is take apart. I have some hard points. I have a little spar. I have glue that goes all the way around here, and the Kevlar strip and stuff like that. It's gonna bring up another few grams over there. But pretty much my elevators like this, and this one is with a clear coat on it in a mold, a super thin clear coat of automotive kind of clear paint. That's it.
So you're building another one right now, Tryon?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. I'm starting right now. I'm just actually I had a little surprise, over the weekend. I lost my plane, so I need another one.
Oh wow, sorry to hear that.
Yeah. No, it was just an oversight on my side. Just like I rush things up and I don't think straight. I didn't set up correctly one of the locks on the wing.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Oh, how devastating! Oh, it's terrible.
And but anyways, I tried some new stuff with some vortex generator, one of those strips like that. They have like a wavy thing in them, like a electrical tape kind of thing. and I put it on the top of the elevator. Boy, oh boy, man, it just loves the rounds. And I have received this past weekend perhaps the best compliment I ever had on a plane.
Wow.
I actually saw Fitzgerald over the weekend, and he was watching me flying the flight and was just coaching me and stuff like that. So, and he's the same one that suggested that I put the vortex generators on the elevator. And I said, well, when I put the vortex generator, I lost some of the corner. At which he replied, he said, there's only one other person in the world that hits the corners as hard as you do, and does like that. And that guy was Igor Berger. At which I'm going like,
wow. Okay,
so
that's
it's one heck of a compliment.
I'm so sorry to hear about the demise of your plane evolutions. I'm glad you have film of it. I'm glad you have video of it. That's great.
Yeah.
Howard Rush wants to say something, so let me let Howard Rush get in. Is he still here? I don't even see him.
His connections.
Okay. Well, if Howard does get back in, we have to give him a chance again. He's been trying to say something for a while. And Carl, was you waving goodbye, or was you wanting to say something?
No, I have a comment. You all were talking about handles. I just wonder why no one mentioned the handles that you can get from Brodak.
That's why with a Rayco handle.
Yeah,
So
the Brodak handle I've flown is heavy. It's a heavy handle. It's red plastic. It's a hard point.
Very heavy,
but it's heavy. I have a couple of them. I know you probably haven't seen me use them in a while, just because they're heavy. I mean, it's just easier when you have a lighter handle, more comfortable. And so that's the only thing I would say bad about the Brodak handle. It's heavy. There's a question in the chat box by Mike Girl. I can't say your name correctly. I'm sorry, but he wants to know. He goes, "Those are nice handles. Where can I get some?" I don't know which handle you're referring to. We've shown some Tom Morris handles. We've shown some Jim Smith handles. We've shown some handles from Randy Smith. We've shown, and we've talked about the Ted Fancher handle. So if you know which one it was, please let me know which one you know, and then we can see if we can give you the website, so you can secure one. And Walter says, biased handle for small differences in line length. Question mark. Oh, he's asking, biased handle for small differences in line length. It's not so much the line length, Walter. It's that the plane just turns quicker one way than the other, and so we're biasing the handle to fix that. But it's really a problem with the airplane that you're just kind of fixing with a Band-Aid. It's really, the plane needs to be fixed. If you can fix it, it needs to be fixed. That's the Band-Aid.
Oh, for a beginner, Charles, because I've seen some beginners with problems, like they say, "Oh, I don't have enough up elevator," and sometimes they just have to shorten the up line a little bit to get more throw that way, as long as they're comfortable with their neutral. So sometimes it's a little adjustment on your line length, a little short. If you need more up, you shorten the up line, and if you need more down, you shorten the down line. And as long as you feel comfortable with that neutral, and if you fly inverted and you can lock inverted, usually I like to put myself for my inverted flight, because it's harder for me to hold inverted down low than it is for me to fly upright low. I'm more comfortable flying upright than inverted.
Because you fly more that way.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I say you fly more upright than inverted. So it's just normal.
So I try to set my level flight for inverted, and then you have to feel how much your insides versus your outsides on a plane. And some planes are, I test fly a lot of people's planes, and a lot of stuff is really whacked out, and then you have to go to doing that bias stuff. but that's the last resort.
All right,
Yeah,
guys,
but-
I'm out of here.
All right, Eddie.
All right,
Thank
Eddie.
you for coming
Take
in.
care, Eddie.
And,
Good night.
and thank you, Al. And as soon as Howard gets back, we'll give him a chance. Now, Carl, you remember, Carl, that ringmaster I gave you, and I told you I either had you lengthen the push rod or shorten the push rod. Remember, I told you it turned quicker one way than the other. Do you remember that?
Hang on. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So sometimes you don't need to bias the handle if you have access. In that particular case, Carl had access, and I encouraged him to shorten the push rod or lengthen it, and that's how we got it to turn more equally. So, but there are instances when you can't do that, so then you just have to bias the handle. But that is not the optimal solution. Trust me, that's not what you want.
It's the last resort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Mike Rigel, there's a guy on here, Jim Smith. He's on the Stunt Hangar. If you can get into stunthangar.com, I don't know if he's in the vendor, but you can maybe search the members and contact him to get a handle. Randy Smith sells handles. Brent
Williams.
Brent Williams. And by the way, I really like Brent Williams' handle. And Jim Smith's handle is fine. I've never used it, but and then Oki Air, which is usually there's a banner on top of stunthangar.com, and there's a phone number there, and you can speak to him about handles. And then even on you might if you go to a contest. I mean, I've purchased handles. I purchased a couple handles at Brodax when I was there at the fly-in. And so go to contests. You can pick up handles. That's one way you can pick up handles. Go to contests. Go to flying fields. See who has someone who's not using the handle. Maybe they might give it to you. Especially if you're starting out. I mean, we all want to help everybody come up and enjoy this hobby.
John, I got a question for you.
Okay.
While everybody's I got a lull here. How many different Pathfinder profiles were there? Not counting the twin, just a regular single engine Pathfinders. Because the reason I ask, I have a kit to one that does not have leading edge sheeting. I have one now that has leading edge sheeting. Then I've seen one. The ones I have always seen were tricycle gears. The one I just got is a tail drag. A friend of mine just gave me one here a few weeks back, and
okay, I think
the 51
I'll
drives me crazy.
I'll take a stab at answering that, Bill.
Okay.
First one, the one that doesn't have the leading edge sheeting on it. If you look at it, probably came from Ken Smith, was the guy that made the kit, and that's the original Pathfinder. It has the long wing, and it has a full I-beamer. Okay.
Yeah, it is an I-beam style.
And it's got a longer wing. It's got more area.
Yeah.
That's Ken Smith has passed on some years back. He made 200 of those kits, and there'll never be any more.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And yeah, it is, but it's kind of a collector piece, is what I'm trying to tell you. All right, the kit from that is commonly seen is the Brodak kit, and that has the leading edge sheeting. It has a slightly smaller wing, but the wing is tougher. The problem with that one with the longer wing, the Ken Smith design, was the wing could fail if you put it in really too many really hard maneuvers. All right, because it just wasn't as strong as a C2.
Yeah.
Oh, Cat, come on! Cat just turned my TV off, my monitor off. But you can. Yeah, he knows. He knows better what's going on here. He wants me to pay a little attention to it. Okay, so now.
Nah. You think so?
Yeah, I think so. So there's two of the Pathfinder profiles.
Yeah.
Then there was a Mark III that was never published and never kitted or anything else. The Mark III has a swept leading edge.
I have that one downstairs. I had the
Do you?
plans, and I have all the parts to build that one. That's one I'm actually playing with.
Well, that one, there were about 3 or 4 of them built, but they're little. They take a little more to build, and the regular Pathfinder kit builds quick and easy. So, that's why it never got released. And I think
I'm
that's
thinking
it.
about doing the sides of that fuselage with 1/64 plywood, and building the fuselage up from the trailing edge back, and then covering it, sheeting it 1/64 plywood instead of balsa wood, and seeing if I can't get that thing to fly right, because it just looks like too nice an airplane not to build.
Well, if I was going to do that and I wanted to get rid of any twisting back there, I would outline it in balsa, and I would use foam bead, foam bead, like they make the wing out of. I would slice up a chunk the thickness you want, and then I would use the epoxy, like Trayan suggests. Put it on, scrape most of it off, put them together, weight them down. Have you built a plywood covered foam wing for RC?
Oh yeah,
right. And you can use them like a baseball bat.
Oh yeah.
And they don't twist. They don't twist at all.
No, they don't.
And
same thing with glider wings. I've done a bunch of them.
Right. So that's how I would do it. Because the more
and epoxy together. All right.
Yeah. The reason is you got that center material in there helps keep the plywood from buckling or you could probably, if you put a lot of wood cross pieces in there, probably accomplish the same thing, but I think it might actually weigh more and perhaps not.
I think it does. I didn't want to laugh, but that's the way I build. I use the foam. Everybody says I should use the cross pieces of balsa. I'm not going to argue with everybody, but I build the outline and then I cut my foam, put my foam in it, and then I take a hot wire and just zip it up the side of it, and you're done. It's a lot quicker, and I think it's a lot stronger. I've got a plane downstairs that everybody's fuselage is like this. The Ringmaster 576.
Yeah.
Everybody's fuselage is really flimsy. Mine's a ball bat, and it's got white foam in it. It's not blue foam; it's white foam.
Right.
It works.
Right. It's very light. You just got to make sure you got enough balsa around where the wing glues in. The front end.
I left all that sheeted. I mean, half inch thick.
You're doing right. You're doing right.
Hey,
I have a question. I'm sorry, Steve. Hang on.
Steve has a
Ryan, earlier you asked about the grommets. There's a couple of suggestions on the chat. One guy says check with a sewing supply shop for those grommets in various sizes. I think they have them. And then Mike Rigel says, oh no, that's not him. Then another guy, Marcel Legrand, he says, hey guys, you can buy those grommets in a shoemaking shop. So those are some suggestions.
Okay.
Those grommets on the handle that Tryon was asking about. That's what I'm referring
okay, cool.
to.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And I want to say something, Al. Thank you so much, Al. I appreciate it. You and Gerald are constant supporter of this platform, and I know I'm speaking on behalf of Sparky. We appreciate it very much. And I want to encourage those of you out there who are watching this as a replay, come back during a live show, just briefly come in, watch the show, and then you can see the super chat and make your donation. And there's no free lunch here in America. Please help support this. We're not asking for you to go in debt. Just help us out. And it's just a few guys that are consistently helping. I'd like to see some new faces contributing. And I appreciate the old faces. And I'm sure if forgot some other guys. I know Greg Biswick, Gerald, Al, and there's some other guys who have also consistently support us. But we there's a lot of people watching us, and just show us a little love, and that'll really help. Sparky just bought a new server, pretty penny, and so help us out. We really would appreciate it. And Steve, go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Steve. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask Tryon if he's tried any of that new paint that he was going to use inside the molds, and did it work?
I don't have it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Was there anything you could salvage off the old airplane besides internal parts? But
just the rear part of the fuselage is still okay. Not really, but it should be repaired a little bit, but not much. Not much. The outboard wing and the elevators were still in one piece, so that's all that survived. And actually, the nose just broken off, but the battery compartment and the back side of the nose was still intact. And I can show you.
I was just wondering if you could, you having to build a new plane to get one in the air quick, if you could save some of the parts. But
real quick, while he's doing that, one thing I didn't answer for Phil was the Pathfinder with just the main gear. That was a feature of the design. A lot of guys don't like trike gear. They got this mistaken that they're carrying too much weight or something. And the main gear, you take the main gear, swap sides, and now you've got tail dragger.
Yeah. Well, it sure flies good, I'll tell you that.
Oh, man.
Man, that tore that up. That's a shame.
But, to answer your question, if I have to make just one piece, I could probably make a whole plane in the same amount of time.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it almost doesn't matter, because if I want to make this piece, I'm going to have to do the painting and prepping, right? I do that in one day. What did I make for one piece or a whole plane, right?
Oh, okay.
I have to mold the two halves, right?
Yeah.
So if I mold two halves, I can, in the same day, instead of molding just two halves, I can mold the rest of the parts for a whole plane, right? And I still have to wait overnight for them to cure, right?
Yeah.
So next day I have to join them. So this is day 3, right? I have to join the two halves, right? And put all of this stuff inside of it, right? And
well, I just knew you were working. It'd be one thing, if you had all day to do it, but
yeah,
you have to work at night, because I know how much time it takes to polish the molds and get, do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you only have 2 or 3 hours after you get out of work, then knock out what you need.
But if I'm going to semi-permanent releases, I don't have to ever polish it again.
Oh, okay. And that's working good?
That'll be good.
I'm sorry?
The semi-permanent's working good for you?
They work fine in the past. The only thing that was a problem with them is that in spots where I actually did some painting with color.
Oh, okay.
Okay, those are the only spots with the trouble. But I used the rattle can paint, and that was a bad paint. But if I use epoxy paint, like so I had problems where I was painting. It has 0 problems where I had just the epoxy and the carbon fiber and stuff like that. So with epoxy compatible kind of stuff, I should be fine. I don't anticipate any problems. And everybody in a real world are using the epoxy kind paints or urethane or some kind of low 2-part paints, like automotive type stuff, right? They has a catalyst and stuff like that inside of it. So as long as you do that, I should be fine. So I don't anticipate any issues with that.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
I was watching earlier, you guys talking about handles. When you really think that an extra 5 ounces, say 8 ounces, a half a pound, on it, if a handle did weigh that much more, would really affect you flying? I mean, most of the time,
no, but you feel the
when you're
plane.
doing overheads, is actually pulling that handle is negative weight.
No, it's pulling your hand down. That's it, because you're holding it in your hand, right?
I
That's
can
all.
see straight and level, but once you start to come out of straight and level, anytime you're going up, it's now
okay.
taking that weight out of your hand. It would just be right at the very bottom, or your level laps.
Steve, the point is that the heavier the handle, the more interferes with you feeling the plane, what the plane is doing and pulling, right? Okay, it's the feel. You just if you have a handle light as a feather, whatever you feel in your hand, it's exactly what the plane is doing, right? As the handle gets heavier and heavier, it's like having like a one of those workout belts, you know, and you're trying to move it around and do stuff like that. You feel the weight of that thing. You don't feel what the plane is doing as much, kind of thing. So lighter handle are better.
I could see if you're talking, you know, a 3-pound handle, but a couple ounces, you know, maybe Samantha, she's a girl and she could pick up 2 or 3 more ounces on a handle. But when I fly them, I can't tell the damn difference on. I mean, my arm doesn't want to fall down on the ground. It's like, oh my God, I can't hold my arm up anymore. I got 3 more ounces on the end of my hand.
Steve, I had the same argument, but after you fly it, and you fly the same airplane with the heavy handle, and then you fly it one of these one of Jim Smith's lightweight handles. I mean, this thing weighs nothing. I don't know what it weighs, but it's not.
That's what Samantha flies, just because it's made to her hand. But
well, I tell you what, you'd be surprised how much more you can feel that airplane.
Yeah,
and I hit something on takeoff Saturday and couldn't figure out what it was, but I said I've got a vibration in the I've hit something with a prop, and everybody's telling me you didn't hit the prop on takeoff. No, I had a bug that I had hit, and it stuck to one side of that propeller, and I could feel it in that handle the whole flight. I couldn't have done that with the old handle. I'd come back with grasshoppers on them before and didn't know it. This thing was, you feel a lot more. You just plain feel a lot more with a lightweight handle.
I felt hitting.
Sense, but it
yeah, I felt hitting a bug in flight with my lines.
Yeah, I did. I have too.
I did. Yeah. So, another thing, like this is more like for the beginner flyers that fly off grass, right? Here's a cool trick what to do when you fly off grass, you know, because when you're on grass, the plane loves to nose over, gets the nose in the ground, right? So the trick is that if it's like a super short grass, nicely manicured, where the plane rolls off very easily, you don't need to do this almost at all. In concrete, you don't have to do this. But when the grass gets taller and taller and the plane wants to get with the nose into the ground, what you want to do, you go full up elevator and hold it there. And just, you release the plane. You wait for the plane to go about a yard or so, right? You just wait for the plane to start moving. The key point, start moving. Not getting up to speed, start moving. As soon as it's moving a little bit and it starts moving, go back to neutral. And then it's normal takeoff.
The other thing is you got to be ahead of that airplane. You know, your body ahead of it and bring it around with you to keep tension on them lines.
Whatever you want to do. If you want to hold the hand in front of you, on the side, really doesn't matter.
You know,
but the idea is that
out of the grass.
That really doesn't matter. You know, you can stay in front of you. It really doesn't matter. Now, the idea is just keep the full up elevator.
When you can bring your arm around back to you, you know, otherwise you'd have to walk back to keep line tension on that.
If you're
6 of one, half of the other.
If you're in high grass, you got to hold your lines up high.
Right, and you got to bring your hand in when that airplane starts to move.
Especially if you just have an asphalt takeoff strip and there's high grass, that's really dangerous because the plane's like way low from the grass.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of planes get caught and make a left turn.
Well, maybe I'm making an assumption you're like on a soccer field or some park where the grass is kind of uniform. stuff like that, right? So a little bit an assumption, but the idea is that when a plane is in the grass and is stationary, right, and it wants to nose over, the idea is that give it full up elevator until it just starts moving. As soon as it's moving, go back to neutral, normal takeoff. Nothing changes after that.
And
let me interrupt you guys. Let me interrupt.
Use these wheels is even better.
Let me interrupt.
Yeah.
I want to end the show, the live stream anyways. We've had a really good show. And I have a comment here in the chat box. Daryl Worlds, he asked, did he miss Lynn Spitfire? Lynn, I see you're here. You're back again. Lynn, would you mind showing the Spitfire again? I know you did show it briefly. I don't know if I actually clicked on you to show everybody. I don't remember, but there's a guy that wants to see that. And then
I'd like to see it.
Then Mike McGill says he wants the Jim Smith handle. So that's the one he wants. And so does anyone know what the contact information is for Jim Smith to get that handle?
If you will come back Friday, I will have the paperwork out of one of those handles, and I'll show it on the air, and you can get it. It's I think it's Smith Brothers. It's FlyStun at smithbrothers.com or something like that, and you can order it from him. I've got his address right here and his telephone number, but I don't feel comfortable giving that over the air.
Oh, he said he doesn't care, Phil. Last week he says he doesn't care. He gives his email out and go ahead.
All right, here you go then. Jim Smith, 8604 East. I think it's Sligh, SLIGH Avenue, Tampa, Florida, 33610. His telephone number is 813-230-1287. And the handles are they're $45 a piece if you get just the carbon fiber and you put your own balsa on it. And I think they're $85 if you get it looking like this. But I mean, it doesn't take that long to get it like this. I'm cheap. I buy them for $45.
Well, the one thing is too is if you put your own balsa on it, you can do the width of your hand.
Okay, yeah. And one more thing to complete that, his email is stuntflying@gmail.com.
That's it.
STUNTFLYN. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you very much. I'm going to wrap the thing up. We're going to transition to our after party. Now, sometimes the after party is actually better than the live stream portion. So those of you that are watching this as a replay, you might want to make a note. We do this every Monday and Friday night, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can get in and get to the link. And to get to the link, you need to be a registered member of stunthangar.com/SMF to get into the after party. I had some questions last week or week before, and I got my answers in the after party. So, and I also want to, again, thank Al Farrell for his contribution. And Peter Naval, he actually subscribed to the new subscriber to the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, for $4.99 a month. And so thank you very much. We've had as many as, looks like we've had as many as 26 concurrent viewers. Wait, maybe it's higher over here. 29. We've had as many as 29 concurrent viewers, 25 likes, $9.99 in chat revenue, 1 member. And I think our discussions we had tonight were really good. I mean, this time, it just flew by. I mean, it's 9:07. We've been on the air for 2 hours and 18 minutes, and it doesn't seem like it's been 2 hours and 18 minutes. So thank you very much again. And then, of course, we had a lot of chat in the chat box. And some guys couldn't get in. I don't know Jim Smith couldn't get in, and it's because of maybe the server. We have a new server, and so when you go into Stunt Hangar, it's gonna be much quicker, and that's thanks to Sparky's hard work and his contributing to this hobby. So thank you very much for everybody coming in. Today's Monday, right? So we'll be back Friday night at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So go out there and have some fun. I hope to fly Friday, come back with a report, and go out there and have some fun and come back and tell us about it and do some show and tell, what you did in your shop. And with that being said, does anybody else have any last closing remarks before I end the stream?
Glenn was trying to get on there to show his Spitfire, but now he went gray.
That's right. I asked him about that.
Yeah, he was up there, but
I've been busy
Lynn, you're not
tonight.
getting off
It's
the
kept
hook.
me very busy, so I'm sorry if I step on anybody.
That's all right.
It's not deliberate.
There you go. We'll get it next time.
We'll get it next time. All right. With that being said, go out there and fly and have some fun. Come back and tell us about it. Tight lines and fair winds. See you guys Friday. Goodbye.
Bye.